Namaste everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome back to another session of Yoga with Reena. The session today is slightly different. We're going to be using a chair, as you can see. So no mats needed today, but making sure that the chair that we've got is nice and stable, it's nice and steady, and it can definitely hold your body weight, so we are not sort of tipping over or falling over while we're doing the practices. And as always, making sure that we're looking after our own health and safety. So listen to your body, know your body's limitations, making sure that you're in bare feet, we've got enough space around us, there's no bumping in, and also making sure that we've got the suitable clothing on as well, so that nothing is getting caught on the chair or anything like that. So let's make a start. You can start with your chair facing the front, that's completely fine, and just make sure that you've got enough space around you. I may be shifting a little bit in between just to make sure that you guys are able to see me. So don't worry about moving your chair, but just adjust your body to the poses. So let's make a start. Turn, making sure that we're remembering how we sit, okay? So whichever chair that we've got, making sure we're using the right at the bottom of the backrest, okay, and making sure that we're sitting up nice and straight, so not stretching our spine, but just nice and straight, and starting with palms upturned, thumbs and index fingers touching, and a nice deep breath in and out, and then just closing our eyes. Okay, so closing our eyes, nice and calm, and our mouths as well, and just taking a few moments to come into the body and into the room, and slowing everything down nice and slowly. So taking a nice deep breath in and out. Keep those exhalations nice and long. And in and out. Last one. Try and do this for the longest you possibly can. Hopefully we've calmed down just a little bit and slowed everything down. So inhale. And exhale. And then really slowly just open your eyes with a few blinks. You can relax your hands if you wish to, or you can keep them there as well, that's also fine. So the poses today are going to be predominantly focused on our spine and also our leg muscles. So definitely for those of us who are sitting in chairs for a very long time, working from home, these practices are very good to get all of our circulation going as well, and generally just waking up parts of the body that have become tight over time. So let's start with our breathing first of all. So however you're sitting is completely fine, okay? We're just gonna place our palms facing down on our knees, and we're gonna breathe in, and we're gonna stretch our spine, okay? And we're gonna curve back and lean our chest forward. So heads back, chest forward, and exhale, and gonna come all the way down. So follow your breath with your movement, okay? And really try and open that chest up. So if I show you from the side, you may not necessarily need the backrest for this. We're slowly breathing in all the way up and exhaling all the way down. Keep coming all the way down, okay? And this time what we're going to try and do is bring our legs a little bit further out, okay? And we're going to do exactly the same, but we're actually going to try and do a forward bend and try and touch our legs, okay? So keep them really relaxed. So at no point should there be any weight on those knees especially, okay? So here we go. Inhale all the way up, lean back slightly, and exhale, chest later, stomach first, and come down as low as you can and let your head fall. And and drop your chin and try and tuck your chin as close in as you possibly can. Okay, and then just feel that neck and that stretch on the top part of the spine. Completely relax and head all the way up, breathing in and breathing out and coming all the way down. Now we're going to do a shoulder stretch, okay? But we're going to work from our head all the way down. Okay, we're going to do a shoulder stretch where we're going to reverse, yeah? So we're essentially reversing our arms and coming down, okay? So working from our head onto our neck and then onto our shoulders. So just stretch your chin up and then try and really stretch your neck muscles and your throat muscles here. And then exhale and then chin down. And then just left to right, okay? Really just loosening that neck up, okay? The neck and the back of the neck plays a vital role in your posture as well. And then ear to shoulder, really going for that stretch, nice and calmly, making sure we're not pulling anything at all. And then last but not least, shoulders back and shoulders forwards before we go into that stretch. Okay, so we can lock our hands behind us. Now it's completely optional, guys, whether you want to straighten your arms up when if you're able to get them high enough, or if you want to just leave them relaxed. Okay, so turn them backwards. So for this, you can move to the end of your chair. Okay, turn them backwards, and what we're going to do is we're going to let our whole body flop forward. Yeah, so from here, let your stomach come down. Okay, and then turn your hands back. Now what you're doing essentially is keeping your head up and letting all of your shoulders completely relax. And the fact that we've turned our hands back means that we're opening up the shoulder blades, okay? Now, it doesn't matter if they can't get any higher, but try your best, see where they can go. And what we're going to try and do is bring them over our head, or let them fall over our head, okay? So nice and slowly, however far you can go, even if it's just here, okay? Just let your head come all the way down and let those arms absolutely fall loosely forward, okay? So absolutely loosely forward. Let your head fall in between your knees and completely relaxing. What you can try and do is go for a swinging motion with those arms, really just trying to open up all of those muscles and the top part of the shoulders. And then just to compress them a little bit more, you can try and look just in front of you, okay, maybe about 1/2 meter or so. The more you try and lift your head and let your arms fall, the more you're crunching your back, okay? So do this with a smile, enjoy, okay? And then nice and slowly breathe in and bring yourself all the way back up, okay? And using the chair is almost like having an added prop to help you with your support. So making sure that you're using your chair properly as well, okay? And seating yourself so that you don't end up falling forward, okay? Or that you're so much stuck to the back. So really important knowing how to use these as well, okay? So just roll those shoulders back. I'm sure they feel very nice now. Go for a little twist. We'd normally do this on the mat. So it's really nice. This is for the lower spine, okay? Really good for twisting all of that out. And then I want you to bring yourself right to the back of the chair, and we're just going to do a few leg stretches to get a little bit of circulation coming up to the knees and the quads. So just bring those legs all the way up, okay? And then point your toes as far forward as you can and go for a nice big rotation. And as you point your toes, you feel the tightening of the knees, and as you come around and your toes face up, you feel the stretch on the calf, okay? And again, these muscles can get very, very tight when we're doing long periods of sitting, okay? So up and down, just warm them up, okay? Imagine you're paddling in a pool, and then just give them a little wave with the toes on the floor, okay? You can do that, get them nice and warm. So just gonna do one round on each side of chair Surya Namaskar, okay? So working on our spine as well, but also lots of forward bends, so lots of flexibility for that spine, okay? So slightly bring yourself forward, okay? Take a nice deep breath in and bring that Namaskar right down in front of your chest, making sure that your back is nice and straight, not curved or in the reverse, okay? Absolutely straight, and the lower body is really relaxed, so your feet are nice and still. Okay, and then we're going to do Hastottanasana. So inhale, stretch back. Exhale, push your hips out and come as far down as you can, and heads down, and then raise those arms all the way up. We'll start with our left leg and exhale, hug that knee, place it onto the chair and bring your head all the way down. Try and get the top of your forehead or your nose or your chin, something to touch that knee. And then nice and slowly breathe in and head back. And then raise those arms. Okay, use that chair this time, and we're going to exhale and we're going to finish with our namaskar. Okay, so now doing the right side, and this time, as opposed to coming off the chair for the whole thing, we're actually using it in the last position with our arms up. So use that chair to help you, but make sure you're comfortable. So try and make sure there's nothing on your chair that is preventing you from leaning back. Okay, so just take that namaskar again, nice deep breath in. Okay, and raise those arms and push your hips back, and exhale, push your hips out now, and lean forward. Travel, your arms should be traveling with your head, so you feel it in your legs as well. Head down, and then lift your head up. Take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, bring your right leg in and head down, and really stretch. So the idea is to stretch the whole of the back. Okay, so whole of the back. Keep that forehead down and take a nice deep breath in, and raise those arms up and exhale, and we're going to come all the way down and relax. Okay, so these positions, when we're doing cycles or various cycles, there's lots of variations. When you're doing the cycles of Surya Namaskar, it's important to remember that this part of your neck should be being really stretched, so you're curving it forward and back. Okay, so we're just going to do a few asanas while we're sitting, and then I'll rotate my chair so we can focus on some standing ones. Okay, so if we keep our feet nice and steady on the floor, okay, so nice and still, nice and steady, feet are flat, okay, and we're going to go for Garudasana. So we're going to do eagle pose. Okay, now normally we do this standing and balancing, but what we're going to do is we're going to work our upper part of the body. Okay, so leave those legs nice and comfortable. You can bring them apart or you can bring them in, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, so take a nice deep breath in, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring those arms up in front like this, and then your right arm is going to cross over your left. So your right elbow is inside your left elbow. Okay, and then either we touch the back of the palms together, or either you can go all the way around and close it in or do a namaskar. So completely optional, whatever is easiest for you, but as long as you're doing this, okay, and if you're tall enough, use the back of the chair, that's completely fine, okay, but if you wish to, you can do this slightly forward as well, because actually we're going to be opening up the shoulders here. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take, right now the elbows are sitting on your chest. We're going to take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to lift them up. And as you lift up, you can feel all of this completely open up. So keep your chin up and try and keep your drishti on your middle finger and follow it as it goes all the way up. And your body will tell you when to stop. But the most important thing, guys, is to keep those elbows close together. Okay, nice and slowly. A good way to start, and bring an exhale, come down in an exhale and bring those arms down. Take a nice deep breath in and out, and relax. So if we put our right elbow inside the left, that means the right side would be charged a little bit more, and we're going to do the left hand side now. Okay, so take a nice deep breath in, inhale, and then as you exhale, you can place your left elbow in now. Okay, and you'll find one side is a lot easier than the other as well. Okay, so you can either go for the back-to-back hand like this, or you can go for the full twist, whatever your body allows you to do. Okay, but making sure those elbows do not open out. Okay, and then nice and slowly keep your drishti on your middle finger. As you inhale, you're going to start to lift, and as you lift now, you'll feel it more on your left. You're feeling it on both, but you'll definitely feel it more on your left. So keep looking up, try not to tighten your back, relax into your hips. Take a nice deep breath in, hold the pose just for a few moments, and we're going to exhale, and we are going to release the hands and bring them out in front, and then complete the exhalation and bring them down. Okay, so Garudasana is the eagle pose. So really just getting into that twist and making sure that all of this area here, neck region and everything like that, okay, really opens up. Now when you're doing postures like that, okay, we don't need to counteract, especially because we weren't doing any forward bending or back, okay? So bringing the attention, giving the shoulders a little bit of a rest and bringing the attention to our legs now, okay? We're going to do Padangusthasana. So before we do the twist, we're going to do the Padangusthasana. So Pad means leg and Usht means to lift, okay? So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and lift our leg. Now, if possible, we want to try and keep these legs as straight as we can when we're doing this, but if not, try what you can and do what you can. And the important thing is to not slouch on the chair, yeah? We want to have those stomachs open, those chests open, and you can see how I'm just sort of sitting and I've got kind of the back of the chair there to help support, okay? So nice and calmly, leaning back, chin up, chest up. Okay, and then what we're going to try and do is we're going to use opposite hand and opposite leg. So let's start with our left leg. Bring your left leg in and we want to try and hook our right hand, yeah? So 2 fingers, index finger and middle finger, and we want to place it around that big toe. Okay, now we should feel a little bit of a sensation in the lower spine when you're doing this, so it's important to use the back of the chair properly, okay? If you can't lift your opposite hand up, by all means don't. I want you to try and focus on that lift. So push down on the chair and try and lift that leg up. Now, as you lift, okay, your leg might feel a little bit heavy, but again, you've got a huge stretch on that shoulder. And what we want to try and do is lift it up. Now, if you can't get it straight, that's fine. But what matters is you are completely comfortable in holding this posture. So whatever you're doing, holding the pose as comfortably as you can. And if possible, trying to raise the opposite hand. And making sure that you're not sort of turning out as you're doing that. We want to make sure shoulders and hips are facing the front. So really just hold your breath, keep that chin up, okay? Stabilize your breathing. And remember the other foot should be nice and stable. That's the only way we're going to feel that stretch in the leg, okay? So take a nice deep breath in and out. And as you breathe out, bring that hand down, okay? And bend that knee back in. Settle it down, let it rest up a little bit. You can give it a little bit of a rub on the quad because that might feel a little bit heated, and then slowly you can place it down. Okay, so we've done one side now, so listen to your body and see which one it's able to do. Okay, so let's try the other side now. So take a nice deep breath in, making sure we're nice and steady, and bring that right leg all the way in. Okay, so you can see I'm using the backrest for this. Yeah, and opposite hand and opposite leg. Right hand can stay on the side of the chair and left hand hooks around, okay? And you can support, yeah? Use the prop. We've got it here today, so let's use it, okay? So from here, you can push back. You can eventually come off the back of your chair, okay? Because the moment you start to lift, you can edge yourself forward. So I'm not using the backrest at all anymore now. And then nice and slowly, I'm going to try and lift my leg. Okay, now I can see that my body is turned at an angle, so I want to make sure that my shoulders are facing the front. And when I'm ready, and if I'm ready, we want to try and straighten that leg up. And the aim is to try and get it as parallel to the floor as you can. And that requires you to come forward a bit. Now, if you want to have a go at lifting up, that's great as well. But what matters is we should be nice and stable. Or should we be choosing to raise that arm, okay? Should we be choosing to raise that arm? So nice and slowly, holding the pose, keeping that leg up in the air or down if you wish to, and shoulders both facing forward. And we're going to nice and calmly exhale and bring that leg back in and give it a little bit of a rub on the quad region if you want to, and then nice and slowly settle it down. So when you're sitting normally, okay, we're putting a lot of pressure on the back. So what we did just there was we made the circulation reverse, and that happens when we start to reverse that leg. So the higher you lift your leg, okay, the higher you're able to lift your leg, making sure that foot is steady, and raise that arm means the circulation is able to come much further down. Okay, so really just going for that pull and trying to bring that, and even if you're doing it with your knee bent, that's also fine. Okay, really just going for that pull and then coming all the way down, and also making sure that when we're bringing that leg down, that we're not slamming it. Okay, really, really important that we don't slam that leg. Okay, so well done on those practices. We're going to come into a few standing poses now. So you can adjust your body, try and keep the chair there, but just in terms of space, if you need to, you're welcome to. So we're going to stand up and we're going to be doing this posture behind our chair now. Okay, so we're going to be doing Natarajasana. So Nataraj is the dancer pose, and this is really just to work the legs and stretch the spine. These practices are very good for balance. So if your mind is busy all day in all of your work and you're just taking a break and you're doing this yoga, Natarajasana is very good practice, yeah, for your balance. Now normally we wouldn't be holding anything, yeah, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be holding the chair as we do this. So listen to your body and try your hardest, and let's see what we can do. Okay, so if we stand just behind our chair, okay, and place our left hand on the back of the chair, okay, and feet are together, so nice and straight, okay, and shoulders and hips are facing the front. And now, because we've got something to hold, we shouldn't have a problem with balance, yeah? So nice and slowly, I want you to try and hold your right ankle, but we want to make sure we're holding the right ankle without dipping forward. So pick that leg up, and then if you need to, you can stand slightly further back because you're going to be doing a forward bend and we don't want to hit the chair. Okay, so making sure that we are bending in a way where there is enough space in front of you. Okay, so if you need to go further back, by all means do so. Now's the time. But what we're going to do is we're going to lift that leg, okay, and we're going to go as high as we can. So we want to hold that leg, okay, and we want to really stretch, feel that stretch right inside, okay, the hamstrings at the back of the leg that you're stretching on. And if you want to turn slightly, be careful, don't turn too much, because the more you turn your hips, you're going to lose your balance. So turn out slightly and try and lift that leg as high as you can. And if you can, try and look right at the back. Yeah, try and look at your toes right at the back. So want to hold the position, enjoy the position, and smile as well. And then nice and slowly, we're going to come down. And we can place both hands on there now. And you can feel charged. You'll feel charged in the same position that you're doing, okay? And also, I know we've got the chair, guys, but there's still a certain level of balance, especially if you're trying to look behind you. So let's try the other side, okay? Let's lift the opposite leg up, okay? Take a nice deep breath, and as you inhale, really just go for that dip, and nice and slowly, you can try and look behind you at one toe. And if your feet are nice and still, if your body is nice and steady, then with that turn, you should be able to stay nice and stable, okay? So holding that pose and being nice and stable, feeling that stretch in that hamstring that you're balancing on, and nice and slowly, we are bringing that down. And feet slightly wide apart, we're just going to give a stretch to our spine. So you can bend your knees slightly, and what we're doing is we're taking our chest towards the floor. And as you do so, this is the same benefit as the Parvatasana, which is like a mountain pose that you were doing, so you would do in Surya Namaskar. So what you're doing is taking the weight off the legs, which is just what we did in Nataraj, and you're just stretching, you're loosening up and you're uncurving your spine, which would normally be curved like that. You're opening it out, okay? Really just opening it out and taking a nice deep breath in and out. And then nice and slowly settling yourself comfortably on the chair and making sure that you've got enough space on the sides as well. Okay, so just come to a nice sitting, comfortable sitting position in your rooms, and making sure that you've got enough space on each side. Okay, because we've done the standing pose, but we're going to do some side twists now. Yeah, so we're going to start with Veerbhadrasana, which is a warrior pose. And we're actually going to be using the chair to support our thighs while we do this. Okay, so in this posture, what we're going to do is we're actually going to stand up, okay, and we're going to make sure our right leg is kind of in line with the front of the chair. okay? So that if you had to sit, if you had to sit, you'd have that enough space, okay? In fact, we're actually going to start in this position because I don't want us to come up and down and keep measuring. So you can see my right leg is just in line with the right leg of the chair. And my left leg is in front, yeah? It's in the front and we've got enough space, okay? And it's just there and it's ready. And if I need to, then I can adjust it. But what we're going to do is we're going to stretch our arms up and we're going to lean. And we're actually going to be working our hips as you do this, yeah? So right now I'm in this position, my back straight, my chin is up, okay? And what I'm going to imagine is somebody is pulling my arm in this direction. And as I do that, I feel a huge tightening in the side of my chest. A nice light pressure, okay? Really just edging ourselves down, yeah? So take a nice deep breath in, take a look, keep your drishti right at your middle finger. And then as you exhale, I want you to pull yourself so your legs are really steady, yeah? Legs are really steady and actually it's just your hips. So you're moving in this direction, yeah? So it's as if you're just moving your hips, but you're doing this with your arms. So take a nice deep breath in, exhale and lean forward and try and get your nose to touch in line with your finger. Make sure those arms haven't come up, yeah? Nice deep breath in, hold the pose, do this with a smile, and then release that right hand and place it onto the floor if you can. If you can place it onto the floor and then raise your left hand, you're still using that chair, yeah? And looking up at our middle finger. And now we're uncrunching this area and we're crunching this side now, yeah? So we've moved from Virabhadrasana to Parsvakonasana. And really just feeling that stretch, holding the pose, and then taking that arm all the way over and extending even more. And now try and go for that pull even more. Do this with a smile, hold your pose, and then nice and slowly, we're going to come all the way up and all the way down. And you can relax your legs. And I'm assuming this part of your body is really charged and the hips are on the opposite side. So let's finish up on the other side now, okay? So remember, as if we're going for that pull, yeah? As if we're going for that pull. So settle yourself in a way where you are going to be able to bend that leg, yeah? So we got our left leg in line with the left leg of the chair. Settle yourself to the side and take that leg all the way out, yeah? Making sure you've got enough space and making sure the surface is not slippery or anything. And even here, making sure that you haven't lifted your hip up. We want to make sure both of the hips are sitting down, yeah? And bring that leg as far back as you can and making it straight. So actually, the chair is there to support us. So nice and slowly, inhale up, okay? Big smiles, turn your chin, turn your head, and imagine we're going for that lean, okay? So really leaning in, going for that pull, okay? Somebody's got your arm and they're pulling you forward, and holding the pose, taking a nice deep breath in and making sure with your exhale, making sure that you're not bending forward or back, yeah? Very, very important. And then taking that exhale down and place that hand on the floor and your arm comes all the way up, opposite arm all the way up. And if you need to adjust, by all means do so. And feel that crunch on one side and feel the opening on the other. So looking up at our hands with a nice smile, and then taking the arm all the way over, okay, all the way over and opening out. So making sure when you're in this position, guys, we want to make sure that we do not, yeah, we do not look down and we don't let our arm come forward. We want to make sure that we are looking all the way up and my palms are parallel to the floor, okay? And then nice and slowly, we're going to come all the way up, breathing in, okay, and sit comfortably with your legs nice and wide on the chair and interlock your hands and stretch yourself all the way up. So breathing in, curving your spine, exhaling and bringing your chin all the way down to your chest. And then exhaling and coming all the way down with our hands and shoulders back. And you can relax your legs. So finishing our session now with a pranayam, with a breathing practice. But also just remembering when you're doing these postures to be really, really careful, guys. I can't emphasize enough that when you're doing the practices on a chair, making sure you're using that chair, yeah? Manipulate that chair to support your body how you want to, but it's very important that we are being careful. So settle yourself against the back of the chair. Okay, and remember, using the backrest properly. So not leaning completely on it, but making sure that the lower spine is supporting. And just a few quick tips to making sure that our spine doesn't tighten up. When you're sitting and you're working, you can put one leg on top like this. That eases the pressure off the spine as well. It's really good for back pain too. And another thing you could do is also just try and sit in Sukhasana on the chair. If you've got enough space, yeah, try and sit in Sukhasana. Yep, it's the same as you would be doing if you were sitting on the mat as well. So whatever is comfortable for you, okay, we can take our Jin Mudra, Jinmay Mudra, we can place it on the back of our knees, and we're going to close our eyes and take a nice deep breath in. And we're going to exhale and come out. We'll finish with Nadanusadhana, which is the Akar, Okar, Makar, and then the final Omkar. So as you chant A, we'll feel the vibrations in the stomach. As you chant U in the second breath, they'll move to the chest. And as you chant Ma in the third, they will come into the head region. So starting with A, then U, then Ma, and one final Om all together. It's really important, guys, to follow the journey from the vibrations at the base of the stomach. So here we go, nice and calmly, breathing in. Omkar, breathe in. Makar, in. And then finishing with one Omkar, Ba, U, Ma. Inhale. And bringing our hands into our mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us all be happy. Let us all be healthy. Let us all be without any pain or illness. Let us all see the good in others. And most importantly, may we all have peace, peace, and peace. Start to rub our palms together, which hopefully have gathered lots and lots of heat from the mantra that we've just chanted as well. So get them nice and warm, and lightly cup your eyes, making sure there's no darkness. You can open your eyes inside your hands. Keep blinking, keep feeling those eyelashes, and then start to loosen your grip. And with every blink, start to palm your forehead and take a nice big stretch all the way up, a nice big namaskar all the way to the top. And we're finishing with our happy brains and our happy words and our happy hearts. So remember to stay happy. I hope everyone is staying happy and healthy, and I will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. Namaste.